what would you consider when you choose a house to a HMO? So what things you consider?
Yes, there's quite a few things really. I think location is very important when you're choosing an HMO. So what you really want to be considering is, am I going to have strong enough tenant demand where I am, right? So you don't want to be putting this house in a small village in the middle of nowhere, because you may have a nice family in there, but they may not want to pay the room rates that you're trying to charge. So ideally, you want to be somewhere where there's, you know, plenty of people, right? So a town, you know, more central the better. It doesn't have to be like literally right in the center of whatever town you live in, but it has to be fairly central. So it probably needs to be close to amenities. So, you know, if there's shops and schools and hospitals and maybe university even in the town, you know, those are really good. You know, so if you're close to these sort of things, then I think that's going to be very much helping you in terms of your tenant demand. And also people who are looking for rooms, you know, they want to be sure that, you know, okay, well, the next takeaway or the next grocery shop is not, you know, 50 miles away, so I have to drive 2 hours. So, you know, those are the sort of things the convenience that people are looking for is really, really crucial. And also, you probably want to understand the employers in that town. So ideally, you want to be somewhere that has multiple big sort of business parks, because obviously some of the big business parks, you have sometimes thousands of people working for them. Now, obviously not every single one of those employees are going to be your target market, because there's obviously a huge age range and different sort of life situations you need to consider as well. But the more employees in the town, obviously the more of your market for you. Transport links are also good to consider. So, you know, having the house close to a bus route or close to the train station, or if you're in London, for example, you know, you could be close to a tube station. So people are a little bit lazy, you know, especially after work. They don't really want to be walking half an hour from the train station. So, you know, if you can be a 5-minute, 10-minute walk away from something like that, I think you're going to be a much better place as well. So, and probably one other thing is important to consider is quite a lot of the cities, towns, and, you know, boroughs will have what you call an Article 4 area. So for those of you who are not very familiar with this term yet, basically what it means is that the council have put in a restriction in place where you can no longer turn a house into an HMO. There's lots of other things as well, but, you know, that's probably the main thing to consider in terms of what an Article 4 is. Now, why is this important to you? I guess when you are looking at properties from an agent, agents may not necessarily know what is an Article 4 area. They may be showing you a property that you think, wow, this is perfect, great location, perfect setup, I'll take it, only for you to then find out 6 weeks later or 2-3 weeks later, oops, I can't actually turn this into an HMO because the council doesn't allow. So, and by them, if you have a bit of bad luck, you may have signed a contract. So, you know, it's something to really, really consider, I think, for people who want to do HMOs, is always look out for your Article 4 areas and where you are. So I think those are probably the main sort of 4 or 5 things that I really want to be watching out for, I think, for choosing a property.